opportunity to be able to speak to a wonderful group of fine people. I feel real good with the conditions here this evening and what we're going to speak about. I do not know at the moment, but I'm sure that we'll come up with something that's going to be very interesting to one and all that are interested in extrasensory perception. I see on the bulletin sheet that something has been said there that can the future be foretold in advance. So I feel like we might want to talk a little bit about that. Some people have their doubts that it can be told. Others say, well, it's a hit and miss thing. Well, it all depends on who's getting it, where the hit and miss will be concerned. But I want to say that the future certainly can be told in more ways than one. Not by just extrasensory perception. Many people can give it to you by working with cards. Some can give it to you by looking at tea leaves. Others can give it to you by coffee grounds. Many ways it can be told. But the main thing is separating your material self and getting into the spiritual self. And then you can really see many things and tell many things, and sometimes it's a little frightening when you do tell someone something. I do know that in my own experience, that many that I have contacted and talked to, told them many things that later on, maybe 6 months or a year later, they'd come to me and say, you know, you told me so-and-so, so-and-so. Yeah, I did. You sure did. And sometimes while I listen to these people telling me that it puts a little fear in me that many times I hesitate whether to continue with this work and telling things to people. Telling the truth, really, I don't know whether it is the right thing to do or it isn't the right thing to do. But I do know one thing, that if any person has a gift or a talent, and if they do not use it, they're not entitled to it. So no matter what kind of a gift or talent you may have, whether you be a printer, carpenter, person with psychic power or ability, if you don't use it and get out here, you're not deserving of it, for it is a God-given thing for you to have. Many people ask me, well, how do you know? How can you tell? Well, how do you know and how can you tell? It's all in putting your mind into that neutral zone, I will call it, to where you're not disturbed by the noises or the material thoughts that may be bothering you during the day, that you're in a world of your own. And your mind is going on out, millions and millions and trillions of miles out into space. But for me to tell you people tonight, how does that work? There isn't a soul living in this material world that can tell you just exactly how this comes in, who brings this in, who tells you this thing, how does that work? There is not a person living in this universe on the Earth planet that can tell you just exactly how that functions. I've been in it for many years. I would like to tell you my age, but I'm only 39. I don't want to tell you how many years now I've been in it. Now, sometimes I just count the summer months, not the winter months. Now, if you're going to add a few winter months in there, good for you. You might get my age. But for me to tell you just how it functions and works, I do not believe there is a soul living today that can pinpoint and tell you exactly how it works. Because that's one of the mysteries of the universe. We do it. But how we do it, we don't know. How does it come to us? We don't know. It just comes. And when you get it, if you don't work with it, you're stagnant. But if you keep working with it and telling what you receive and give what you get, you'll build more and add more to it. It's the same as building a house. Each brick you lay, you're building up a higher wall. And it's the same thing with this extrasensory perception. Things are going to work out all right for you, lady. I don't know what seems to be bothering you, but I got to move a little bit. Somebody wants to talk to you, and I'm lecturing here. But, as far as predicting the future for the outcome of the United States, that can be done. Helping you as an individual, telling you about what may be coming 6 or 8 months or 10 months ahead or 3 weeks ahead, that can be done. Now, each person that is in the field of ESP, each one works with it a little bit different than the other person. Although it's the same power, but handled in different ways. Same as a card reader. There's people that have to have cards and lay them on the table. Why do they lay these cards on the table? So they can concentrate, and that helps them to concentrate, to put this thing in a neutral zone so that they can receive that and see that with their third eye here, and then they can talk to you. But the cards really do not tell them a thing. But yet, you'd be surprised how many people swear that the cards told them something. Well, that's fine. If you want to believe that, you go ahead. And many people will swear up and down about the tea leaves, predicted so many things 2 and 3 and 4 years ahead when they had a reading by so-and-so that reads through tea leaves. Well, that is possible too. Coffee grounds, I've had them. One time a lady in California gave me a little cup. I don't know, it's somewhere medium coffee or something. The grounds was in there, and I'd say, oh, God, it was bitter. And a sweet little thing like me drinking that stuff. Well, anyway, she got this and turned it upside down on this saucer. And there was an airplane in there. Looked like one to me. And she told me, she says, you fly an airplane? Lord, no, you have to beat me over the head to even get me in one. I was going to fly with you. So, there was a prediction there that I was going to fly a plane. Well, that's been given to me maybe 10, 12 years ago, but to this day, I have never ridden in a plane. Not saying that I won't. I may someday, and that prediction may come true. There's a woman in California told me about an invention, but it took 15 years before I ever put the thing together. Believe me, it's true. 15 years. And many of you people come out here and they want to have a private interview with someone that has a psychic ability that can read for you. And many of you folks would like to have all of these things work out in 2 or 3 weeks. And if they don't work out for you in 2 or 3 weeks, oh, well, they told me a lot of things that just didn't work out. I like to have things right now take place. Well, the only answer we have for you, we know one thing. When you were born, you were the cutest little son of a gun, so big, but look at you today. It took a long time for you to get to where you are today. So sometimes it takes a little while for some of these little things to work out for you that we get for you. Now, predicting, I like to predict, and the only time that I do predict the future for, say, the United States or the world in general is around New Year's Eve. And I have been doing that for the last 5 or 6 years. And it's very surprising how those things do work out. And yet when you get up there, you get into that state of mind and you're gone somewhere and you're talking and it's all being recorded and people listening and making notations and notes of it. And maybe 3 or 4 months or 8 months later, they'll call you. You know, Tommy, you said so-and-so the night of the prophecies there. Did you know that happened? That ship went down, or this happened, or that train wrecked, or something or another. Yes, the future can be told. And one thing is for sure, I want to say, you better believe it, it's true. It's true. Now, why we cannot get things a little bit deeper, and why things are not given to the people a little more thorough, is because they just don't give it to us. We may get into trouble with it due to the lack of understanding of those that run the country, those people that run the nation. They want to tell you what is in the future, but they don't want the Spirit to tell you what's in the future, because there'd be a big difference between the two, what each one would tell you. The government would tell you one thing, and the Spirit would tell you the true thing. That's why we are not allowed to get out here on a big soapbox or on a main street around the first of the new year and start blasting off and letting the people know what is coming for the year, what will happen, what will take place. They won't allow us to do it. And it's a doggone good thing that they don't, because everybody and his brother would be getting up there, and then there would be certainly a mix-up, wouldn't there? Now, I don't know. As far as extrasensory perception is concerned, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Call it spiritualist, call it spiritualism, call it psychic ability, call it insight, call it anything you want. It's still the one, the same, the only thing that Christ used in his time. It's the development of the sixth sense, the sixth power that has been given to you by your Maker, by your Master, God himself. That's what it is. Now, you'd all like to be able to do it. And you all can do it. Very simple. You all can do it. But the problem is we find it, you don't have enough time to people do this. Everything else is far more important than trying to have a little patience and time to gain that ability and develop that gift that God has placed in your little hands when you were first created and born. You don't have the time. You're so busy with other things. As many speak to us and say, well, now, can I do the same thing that you're doing? I want to say yes. You might do it better than I do. You have the possibilities of doing it better than I do. Or if we have to refer to the Bible, Christ has said, you will do greater things than I. But how many of us want to live the way Christ lived? How many of us want to have the patience, the understanding of our fellow man? We're just too busy with material things that we don't have time to sit down even 10 minutes a day to concentrate, to learn the art of concentration. Now, if we learn the art of concentration, that is the entire key to extrasensory perception, separating one part of the mind from the other. And this is what we call the seeing eye, your third eye. Now, there's many times that I see people that have passed on. In a split second, I see them, I can speak to you about them for 15 or 20 minutes. And I only see them in a split second. I can describe them and everything. As I see it with this third eye. It's just like a moving picture screen there for me. But you can do the work. If you will only want to, take about 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes once a week and develop this ever-seeing eye right here and learn the art of concentration, you will open up your hands and God will open that and put that in there for you, what you call ESP, extrasensory perception. Yes, it's there. You all have it. God has given all of us the same amount of tools. At the time of our birth, He hasn't given me something special that He hasn't given to you. Now, He has given me that. I have taken it. And I have done something with it. I studied. I've worked. I shed tears. I've neglected to do many things that you wouldn't want to give up. I have given them up in life to be able to do this, to develop this. Then you wonder why you can't do it. Well, there's some things that you have to give up. I can't get out here and run around and all kinds of things and get into all kinds of things. still retain this. I just can't do it. I've had my heartaches. I've shed many a tears. I've been hurt by many. Yes, it isn't an easy life. I know it sounds when you see someone that can tell you things. Oh my, wonder how did he know? Oh, I wish I could do it. Well, now it wasn't all easy. Lots of hard work. Lots of time. You've got to learn patience for one thing. You've got to have some understanding for another thing. You've got to have some knowledge for another thing, and what you're trying to do, what you're trying to work with. Now, this is one of the most potent powers that there is in the universe. All of the dynamite that we can make, and all of the dynamite that the government might have, isn't as strong or as powerful as this power that God has given to each and every one of us. We'll only want to use it. And another thing I would like to say, too, this evening, if we could all, and all would, get in tune with one another, and we would all center our thoughts on peace in this country here, and know how to do it, we could have peace that fast over there in Vietnam. But one would have the faith to do it, the other would believe it, the other would say, oh, there's no possibility, the only thing will stop it is blow them all up with dynamite. And that's the way it goes. But we've got to get united with our thoughts as one. We cannot be divided, and that's the problem today. We're divided, and if we're not going to watch ourselves, we're all going to fall. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. And I'm very much afraid that if we're not going to get to stand together with this power, we're certainly going to fall one of these days. We're going to fall awful hard. And then we're going to wonder why, and why it hasn't been told to us before. Why haven't these psychics told us that? Why haven't they warned us about that? It's only been a few years ago up here in some little place in New Jersey. The ocean waters come up overnight. There was no warning. And the water got up and washed a couple of these houses into the sea. Water went all over this little old island up there. And I heard the one lady, what? They didn't even give us a warning. They didn't tell us it was coming. Well, who's going to tell you the end of the world's coming? Who's going to warn you ahead of time? Who's going to know? You'll never know. And that's why I want to say there are many things that can be foretold that are not being foretold for people because people just wouldn't believe it. They just wouldn't believe it. And how many people do I meet that I read for and tell them things, yet they won't believe it? They'll sit and wait till it happens. Then after it happens, then it's, you know, you told me. I said, what'd you do about it? Well, what could I do? I just said, well, I didn't do anything. So why come and bother me? Don't bother me. Don't come to me looking for something that, see what I'm going to tell you, because you might get the surprise of your life. Yes, you might get the surprise of your life. And you know there are many of you in here tonight that are quite psychic and have the ability to be able to tell quite a few things. And I'm going to just bring out a little explanation. How many of you people out there, you know, I had a feeling, I had a hunch. I had a hunch, or I had a feeling. Many of you out there. That is letting you know that you are able to do this if you only want to sit down and develop it a little bit more than what you are. Don't take things just for granted. Well, you know, I had a hunch, I knew before, but I didn't pay no attention to it. Well, if you'd have paid attention to it and done something about it, then you'd have got a hunch on another thing that would have been of more value to you, and that's the way this thing would grow with you to where then you could really do and tell many things. But we just don't seem to have the time to do that. Now, there would be some of you out there tonight would want to ask me the question, where would you go? Where is there a school? Could somebody teach you? Well, if Christ himself was here this night to teach some of you people out there, you still wouldn't learn. Because you're too earthbound, too material. You don't quite understand the spiritual part about it. Psychic power, psychic ability, you don't see it here anywhere. You don't see it here. You're breathing air. Do you see the air that you breathe? Why do you believe it's air? You have to believe it because you know that if you didn't have air, you wouldn't be here in 10 seconds. You'd fall over. But yet you believe it's air, but you don't see it. That's the strange thing about it. Why do you believe in things that you don't see? Such as air. You don't see it. Now you feel the wind blowing, but you don't see the wind. Why do you believe it's the wind? You heard someone say it's the wind. And then you believe it. You go right along with it. It's the wind. If they told you it was thunder, then you said it's thunder blowing. Now, we all have our intuition, which we call the first thought up here. When you say, I had a feeling, I thought of that. That first thought that you get here, that's the real thought. Not all of those other ones that you make up. Well, I think, I'm not quite sure, I believe it was, all of that. That's wishy-washy thing. That you pay attention to the first thought that comes up here with your problem, you'll have the right answer. And you'll never be wrong. I do know that right now, as I walk along here, right now, there would be 20 in here, 20 to 30 people, that it wouldn't take too long to teach them to be psychic or have ESP, whatever you choose to call it. They got a dozen names for this power. They all mean the same one thing, power. Spiritual power, God-given power. The government doesn't give it to you, no one else gives it to you. God gave it to you at the time of your birth. What have you done? Neglected it. Haven't used it. You're just wishing you could do it when you see someone else doing it. It sounds and looks very appealing. Oh, I wish I could do that. Boy, I wish I could do what he does. Oh, boy, I'd sure get me $1 million. That's what you think. You think you'd make $1 million. Yeah, boy, you'd be clever, boy, you'd have all of the answers. Well, it just don't work that way. It just doesn't work that way, because that's not to be used for power, wealth, money. Because that would lead you to be greedy, selfish. Then you'd want to dominate and control everything and everybody. So that's why that does not work with the financial end of this thing. You can't use that power for that. You must use this power for your fellow man, those that are sick, and try to help heal them and bring them back to health. Because in the Bible it tells us, greater things than I shall ye do. But in doing it, there are a lot of things that you will have to give up. And there's a lot of things that you will have to get in silence with yourself and your God within you before you will be able to take your hands and lay them on someone and help that body to throw off that condition or that disease. Yes, to be a real healer, to use this God-given power, you have to be as true as gold is, pure gold, true gold. There isn't anything any purer than gold. You must live the life. You must be true with yourself, as well as your fellow man, and as well as with your God within you, before you can place hands on any individual and say, well, I will try to restore this broken body. But that rests on other things too. Are you worthy of having it? And is God willing to send that power down to cleanse you, to purify you, to make you well? Yes, prophecies have been given in healing as well, centuries ago, and today as well, and will be in centuries from now. Extrasensory perception has been in the ancient days, is today, and will forever be. And so will the healing. And not until mankind get together and get to understand this spiritual power, as we call it, extrasensory perception, and when we can get united together and remove the hate, remove the jealousy, remove the greed, and work as one, then and only then will the things change in the universe and not be as they are today. And we're trying to settle them with guns and bullets. Where if we used the common sense and the power that God has given to us, we would understand one another better, because in the Bible it also tells us, get ye understanding above all things. We don't want to understand our fellow man. They come to us and complain a little bit about, oh, I can't be bothered, I have troubles of my own, go to somebody else. And then we wonder why we can't get along. We wonder why we don't have happiness. We wonder why things are not better in the country or in the world today. The reason things are not better in this universe today is because man is so selfish and so greedy, and everybody wants power, and they want power by money. Wealth. They got to have money. It seems that people today feel that they can't live unless they don't have their pockets full of money or $1 million in the bank. Believe me, it's true. And that is the ruination of the world today. Because too many people in the world today are putting more faith and more trust in that thing they call the dollar than they do in that God that has given them the air to breathe, to be alive. Yes, that's why we have a trouble. That little green paper bill that we call the dollar. And we are so selfish and greedy for it that we even commit murder, we have robberies, thievery, and everything else. We think that we're going to buy our way in this world. We got the wrong idea. We're not going to buy it, because God doesn't need money. He told us that in the first place. We didn't need it. We can live, we can survive without having $1 million. How many murders and how many people have been murdered on account of the money, the wealth? So you see why we have problems in the world. But once we get to understand this hidden power, I will call it that. There's nothing hidden about it. It's out here in the open. We all have it. But many of us, we hide it within. Oh, it's all right. I have a reading. I don't want the priest to know, you know. They're watching now. Well, I have nothing to hide. I don't care if Hoover comes here or the FBI man comes in here or Johnson comes in. Sit down, boy. I'll read for you. I don't care who you are or what you are. You're just another individual to me. I don't care what title. Your title don't mean a thing in the world to me. Because I know one thing. You might have the material law on your side, but I've got the spiritual law on my side. And I know that my side is a lot stronger than the material law. And what I'm trying to explain here tonight, too, we get down the road, we have so much fear in our life, that when we get down this highway, and here comes a light, and we're driving our car, and the light says red, and boy, do we stand for lamp right to stop that car. Why do you stop it? Why don't you just keep going? You know better. And not keep going through a red light. That means $25. You're going to get a ticket. The cop will be there. Maybe the cop's standing behind a pole somewhere. You get a ticket. Oh, here. You're afraid. Now, what is the God himself told you? Fear not, know that I am with thee. But God's laws, we break them every day. But man-made laws, boy, we're scared to break them because we have to give that judge maybe $15 or $20 to bail us out because we went through that red light. That's why we stopped. But when God tells you not to do something, oh, just because you don't see it, you don't pay a fine, you pay no attention to it, you go break His laws. No, there's only 10 commandments that He has given to us. We can't live by them 10, but we're trying to live by 150 million that the government has made. Hey, that shows you how, well, excuse me, but shows we're lacking here somewhere. We're believing the wrong things in life. And then when you see someone who can use this power, or tell you some things, think, oh boy, I wish I could do that. You can do it. Then you don't have to worry so much about the material laws and things. Because when you have this power, it will lead you in the right way, in the safe way, and you'll go about your business and you'll get all of these things without fearing paying these tickets. You'll know when to stop your car. It'll be there, and if you do run through one, there ain't going to be anybody catch you either. Because you'll have the protection. Because they know what I'm talking about. It's happened to me. And how many times have I driven throughout the country here, and I get down the road, and in the front of that car, some of you people say, yeah, that fellow's nuts up there. I'd see an Indian sitting in the front there. Some of you people out there say, well, he's crazy, he don't know what, an Indian sitting in the front, guiding his car? Yeah, you better believe it, it's true. Yes. Only I see a spiritual Indian there, an Indian guide. Yes. And how many times I see that hand going like that, tell me, go faster, and then I was doing 60. Because he could see that it was all right. Keep going, boy, you make time, you're getting there late. Get going. Yes, and how many times, too, the hand would go up like that, slow down. It was right around the bend, and there was these state troopers there waiting. I'm telling you the truth, I know, because I just made a trip up to Ohio here about a week ago, and there they were, right around this darn old hill. And up the road about half a mile, there was a yellow there, just calling them in there like raindrops. You know, I said, I don't mind. I'm holding mine at 60, and I don't know, them other guys must have been going 80. But I didn't have the old Indian going 80 because he knew they were hiding out. That's true, too. Oh, there's many experiences. It's a wonderful thing. I know one thing, people. I would not give this little bit of power that I have for all the money that is in this world. You couldn't buy it because it's not for sale. I've had many heartaches. I've shed many tears. There's been times with me. There's been times with me too. I wanted to quit. Not have anything to do with it. I didn't want people to bother me. I wouldn't answer questions. Several times I tried to give it up. I can tell you one thing. Once you get it, once you develop it, once that you've been blessed with it, you're not throwing it over your shoulder and walking away from it. No, sirree. They probably leave you alone for a month or two till you get over your heartaches. Then they start in with you again. And little by little, they start. You meet someone, you look at them, say, did you get a letter the other day that kind of shook you up a little? Yeah. Boy, then you start, there you go, you're off again. You're back into it as deep as you was the first time. That's happened to me 3 times. So I finally made up my mind, there's no need of trying to tell them I'm going to quit it. Because they won't let me. I might as well just keep on going with it. Take my heartaches and everything else and be happy and satisfied and content. Because there's nothing I can do about quitting it or leaving it or throwing it away. I don't intend to now. I'm getting a little bit too old, and believe me, I think that I need all of the power that God can give me to keep me going. And if it wasn't for His power, I believe I'd have been going a long time ago. fact, I know it. Because when I was in California one time, I had a fever of 109. And if it wasn't for my mother waiting for me, I would have been gone then. I wouldn't be here today. So I do know that I'm not going to give it up. And I get irritated like you people and get disgusted and discouraged once in a while. Don't bother me, leave me alone, get out of here, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm right back at it again. Same as you people with your little problems. You work at it, and you're going to give up. You're not going to do this anymore, and you're not going to do that. But then you turn right around and you put the load on your shoulder, and there you go again, till you get sick and tired of it, and then you start complaining. And put it down for a little bit, or a day or two, pick it up again, and oh well, what are you going to do? That's the way it goes. Now, someplace here tonight, I don't know, I'm just talking now, and we're talking about telling things ahead of time. Someplace here this evening, I feel that I'm going to make some lady happy. I don't know who she's going to be. And I do not know at the moment what I'm going to do. But I no doubt will answer a question for this woman that's in this audience here somewhere this evening. That is going to put her mind at peace with a certain particular question and problem. That I feel it's going to take a long, long time before she's ever going to forget what has been given to her and what will be given to her tonight here. Looks like we're going to take this load off of her shoulders tonight in here and straighten something out for her once and for all, that she'll be able then to go home and be able to lay down and have a peace of mind. And by me making that remark, that woman in here understands me right now. The woman knows who I'm talking to. But let me get away from that and go back into this here ESP again and telling the future of things. You know, it's amazing what this thing, power, can do, and what you can do with it for your fellow man. And sometimes it makes me very happy when they do call home and they say, you know, Tommy, when you was at so-and-so and I had a reading, and you know you told me so-and-so right on the day, right on the month, right on the time, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Wonderful, good. Did it work out? Yeah, just like you said. Oh, boy, that's worth $1 million to me. But yet, at the time I give it to you, I don't know anything about it. That's the strangest part about it. I can talk to you, and an hour later, you could lay me $1 million down here, and I couldn't tell you anything that was getting to me. Couldn't do it for $1 million. You know what I said a little while ago? We all want $1 million. See, there I am trying to get that $1 million. How about that? I don't know what I'd do with it. I couldn't do anything with it. I'd probably wind up giving it away. That's why I haven't got 2 dimes today to rub against one another. That's why I'm here working, trying to make 2 dimes, to rub them together and see what it feels like. If I had a pocket full of money, why, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be in New York somewhere, having me a ball. But you know, I have me a wonderful time here tonight. It's so amazing that I could hear a pin drop with you people out here. It's so interesting what I've got to say and speak to you here tonight. You're all listening to me. And I'm no hypnotist. I don't have to hypnotize because I don't want no one to hypnotize me. Because if they do hypnotize me, Lord, look out. Well, I'm liable to tell a lot of things I don't want nobody to know anything about. No, I'm just kidding you a little bit. But I do know that I do feel wonderful here tonight. And I do know that you people are all interested in psychic things, ability, looking for space, You want to know about saucers, these mysterious things. That's why you're here, a lot of you. You're interested in mystery, mystical things, how it's done, how do they do it. You'd like to know, you'd like to learn? All right. I don't have no chalk, but I can hit on.
Your life. So this song represents three things so far. It represents the day in your life, it represents the year in your life, it represents your lifetime. It also represents a quest that has short duration. Now, if you look in your chart, you will see that this wheel has pie-shaped little triangles. These are called houses. Now, I find if you're taking notes and I haven't slowed up, put your hand up. So these pie shapes are called houses. They represent certain experiences. So houses represent circumstances. I put it down here. There are 12 houses. I don't like to number them because of various reasons. Here, these are all numbered. You see on the first page I numbered. These houses, as they are, never move. I asked Christy, I asked in which direction does a house move? And you figure that out. That's a trick question because they never move. Houses vary in size. Now these houses are even because I do not have my table of houses which would tell me how many degrees in a house. They can go from 15 degrees to about 45 or 47. They can be like this. They can be a very small house or they can be a very wide house. All depending on the system of the earth. You want to take one of your heavy charts, draw a heavy line. You will see that I have drawn clock. This is the basic meaning of the wheel. These are the lifelines of the wheel, these heavy lines. Man it comes on earth to learn basic lessons, and they're usually across the us. They're usually difficult. And so the wheel tells us that these are our lessons, our striving. We are much stronger because we have this cross. So this is man on a cross. These are the heavy lines of any zodiac. Now I'm trying to get to explain something. Now this line here, you have I think 4 charts I gave you here. This is called the horizon. This is the east of the chart. This is called sunrise. This is called the ascendant. I know it doesn't look like the east, but the star is east. And when you read these magazines, you'll say, we say it's the east, or we say it's the sunrise, or we say it's the ascendant. The signs 10 degrees of Leo on the ascendant and right. Now, we usually say that this is 6 a.m. This is only true around June. But basically, this is sunrise. Really are honest, the sun doesn't rise until about 4:20 in winter and rises about 4:30 in summer. There are calendars that tell you. But we call it around 6 o'clock. So we'll call that east. The houses never move. They are sections in which we divide sky. Is that clear? If I were to draw a line and reach up to the sky, that section is called the house. That section. So these are imaginary sections of the sky. The sun rises and comes up. About 8 o'clock you go out and you see it over there. So this is 8 a.m. If you were born between 6 and 8, you have what we call the sun in that section. You were born in that 12th house. Then it takes about generally 2 hours to rise to that section. And this is 12 noon. This is the last word for midheaven, MC, you'll see it. It's called midheaven. It's called the top of the chart. I think any other term. It's called midheaven, it's called the MC. Various magazines will refer to. I'm coming back and tell you more about the house. All right with you? Then the sun starts to go down. About 2 p.m. it's there. Then 4 p.m. here. And this is called the west. Oh, I forgot. It's called the south. I know I forgot something. That's the south. When the sun is right above it, you know, right above it. Then it starts setting. So this is called the west. It's called the descendant. That's about 6 p.m. 8 p.m. 10 p.m. If you don't remember all these, you try. Whenever I used to put them on a card in my art instruction, I take care of my children at the same time. But it has to be memorized. But it will go over and you pick them up in the chart. This is called the midnight. They call it the nadir, N-A-D-I-R. Call it the IC. It's called the bottom of the chart. It's also the north. And then we have 2 a.m.
Four.
You know, 4 a.m. Or the far side. The horizon is called the ascendant. If you know your personal hour, you have a definite ascendant. Because as the sun comes up from the darkness and into the light, you take your first breath. And whatever sign is coming up on the ascendant, that's where you will find your ascendant. Aries is over there, Taurus. But you see, the sun can be in any of these signs, not in this means where life begins. This is where the day begins. And this is usually when we think of the year begins. constellation. So if you're talking to an astronomer, call it a constellation of Aries, the constellation of Taurus, not the sign that marks you as astrology. So these are constellations. Now we take these charts, we want another one, and we're going to put the lines, the lifelines in. They are east, south, west, and the north. The four houses that are very important to you, that are lifelines to you, is this house right here, called the 10th house. This is called with the first, your most important house. Your first house and your 10th. This is your breath. You wouldn't live without your breath because this tells about you. These are houses of action. 10 and first, most important in a chart. They are called angular because they make this important angle. Now we have two other important angular houses, the 7th and the 4th. Next important is 7 and 4. And they are also called angular. If you look at any angular house and you see its tentative giant planet, you get action in your life. You are thrown out for the public. I have to say. I'm just forced there. I don't want to be, but I'm forced there. So if you have planets in the 10th house, planets in the 1st, planets in the 4th, planets in the 7th, your life is a public life whether you like it or you don't like it. Part of your destiny. And so this speaks about angular house. Right, so now we're going into another. I should have more books. All right, let's take this one here. This whole side from to your left is called the east side of the chart. I have it here. If you're looking at a chart, you count the planets on this side, the east side. There are 10 planets. This is the side of free will. You can control your life, more or less, mostly more. That doesn't mean you succeed, it just is to control it. You can do as you want. We say you're on the driver's seat. Drive your car where you want. Drive it fast. You have control. This is, I call, free will. All free will. This is the east side. Now the west side belongs to other people. You are controlled by other people. If you have the majority of your planets on this side, you have to submit to other people. We call it the life destiny or fate. You really are sitting in the back seat of the car and people drive you or life forces you. The greatest example I know of that is Helen Keller, who had over 10 planets on this side of the chart. She was a person of destiny, and her life was controlled by other people. We also, President Wilson had his life on this side. I Then we have below the surface, we call it the north. This whole section now is called the north. This is a subjective world. More planets below the surface, you wait till later in life. You like to look into things. You like to have a mystical value, which comes out older and experience. You become more mellow and like. So is there any question as I went through this lesson very quickly on how to look at a chart for your first look meeting? I have Bob Hope, Philip Diller, and Bob Hope. I only have a few of these left. Does anybody want Philip Diller?
Oh, yes.
Another Philip Diller? Then I have a Bob Hope and a Bob Hope. Now look at these. Count them how many they have on each side. If you're through, take it home. Count how many have on the west side. Across the way they're empty. Nobody's in them. Action only comes when a planet is in a house. A person's in a house. That doesn't mean there is nobody cooking because the cook is out of the kitchen. And that's the meaning of these. Where a planet is in a house, or two planets, or three planets, or four planets. When you have planets in houses, you have action going on in that type of experience. Because this becomes problems. This becomes important truth. Now, if you have good mind, then you would have good. But wherever there's action, you're going to have some strain and stress in your life. That doesn't mean if you have an empty house, you won't have it, but it's never a critical issue. This is going to be hard. This is the meaning of empty houses. We have 10 planets. And we have 12 houses. So we're going to have action with 10 planets scattered through here, besides the ascendant of that. Now, if you look at your own chart or these people's chart, the more planets you have in a house, the more action you get. You can see that. You have 4 people in a room, you get more action. You have 6 people in a room, more action. So this means
Are these lines based on something that's scientifically established?
they're based on the table of houses, yes, from the astronomers. This all this work we have here is astronomy. We get this from London. This is all London. This is the astronomy. This is all astronomy. And this is how we do it. We calculate the table of houses, and we just check down on the houses.
What gives us the number of planets in a house? The time of birth? Or the date of birth?
The date of birth, yes.
Not the time. The date.
The time, because we have what we call a solar chart, where everybody born that day will put the sun on the ascendant, because we don't know what time of day they're born. So that makes every born that day spiritual lesson. But one person's born at 8 o'clock, one person's born at maybe 11, another one's born at 3, another one's born at 7. We're going to have the spiritual lessons that we have to learn, or that rewards we get. We're going to pick them up in different circumstances. Because after all, not all of us are born as sons and daughters of kings and queens, are we? And so we have to divide these into individual people every 4 minutes. The fact that this field is constantly moving. The house is different, but the planets are moving. So we say every 4 minutes a sign, the degree changes. If it's 16 in 4 minutes, it changes to 70 because of the process of always changing. So that you don't get people always alike. These planets are moving into different houses. The moon is moving fast. And so the time of day gives us very definite information. Anybody ask me about a health problem, I look through the 6th house. Now, if he is born at a certain time, but if it's born for everybody that day, I don't have that definite specific
work with the ascension?
I put the sun here, and then I planets fall. And this is good for everybody born that day. It's basically patterns, and we interpret aspects like there's certain interpretation you get from aspects, regardless of what happens. So it's not that difficult. So we have,
Like, I don't know anything about this. How can I actually read this chart? It has numbers,
don't try now, don't try now, don't try now. Let's say read 42. The more degrees in a house, and these are the doors to the house. A house is like a room, and you'll find a degree here, and that's a sign, and that's a degree, and that is the cup, on the cup. That's what we want to do. The line is cup. These are all cups. First house cup, second house cup, third house cup, fourth house, fifth, sixth, seventh, we said the 10th and the 4th houses were your important houses. And your first and your 7th. That's what we have already talked about. Now going back, you can see, if this is the east side, this is me, it represents me and my effort, then the 10th house and the 1st house are important to me. And you can see where the 7th and the 4th are important to those with whom I have come in contact, or the people who oppose me, or people who work with me. So, 1st and 10th are important to me. The 7th and the 4th are important to other people with whom I work.
Would the first can still be important regardless of what hour you were born at?
What hour? It makes no difference. These are stationary 6 houses. And the 1st house and the 10th house are always important. When big planets cross them, it's important to you. When the planet Saturn, which is heavy responsibility, crosses your lifeline, you know it. You're dead tired. You are so discouraged. But fortunately, things move on. And there's a time Saturn only goes around 28 to 30 years. So only fortunately every 28 to 30 years will you get that planet sitting. But then when Jupiter gets there, you gain weight and everything's fine. But these are very vital spots. Oh, you take this, you have a wonderful time.
Do these planets mean the same thing to everyone? I mean,
They mean there, everybody, regardless. All the Cancer people should be getting a reward now. They should be doing better because Jupiter's going back into Cancer. I know it's a different mission. I get too far off. But this is a meaning for everybody. And every planet, every sign has two meanings, a positive meaning and a constructive meaning. And this is where you can have different meanings.
You say the houses never move.
They never move.
Now,
Because they are sections of the sky.
Now, you say they vary in degrees from 15 to 20. Is house 12 always the same number of degrees for
You were born, say, in April, I would put Aries here, and I would only be able to describe you as an Aries person.
not the right sign?
No, I would not. That would be,
Is there any way that you can have any way to
describing me, or sometimes then your own sign. You say, he doesn't look like an Aries, doesn't act like an Aries. You see, he acts more like a Capricorn, because it's right. He's much more reserved than Aries. Although, wait till you get to know him, he'll be quite warm and quite active. So this is your ascendant. This is me. Now, we call the second house the house of money you earn. This is the money you earn, and the money you spend, and the money you waste, and the money you don't get. Money house. Somebody gets profit from money house. Money you waste, money you... But the money you earn yourself or don't earn, let's call it. It's a financial house. It's a house of possession. That you have to spend money for possession. And so this is the financial house. the question is why. Or you say, I think you have planets in that house. I put education here, I put everyday affairs. It's a very busy little house. It's always gigantic about doing those things. We'll have a little active house. Well, what do you want, short trips? They also say brothers and sisters. So we're reviewing this is a quadrant. This is me, a very active house. If you don't have any planets and it isn't your personality, you have your personality. If you have a planet there, you must use your personality to attain what you want. Personality is important. If you have money, you're always busy getting money or spending it or losing it or wasting it or somebody else getting it. That's always a busy, active house. If you're busy, if you have planets here like Pasteur, he's always busy with research, always busy with everyday affairs. Remember, he got pasteurizing wine for the common people. All his time was working overtime. He had 4 planets down in that house. Now the 4th house is called the end house. The end of life, the end of matters, the home, the principles you're taught at home. The very foundation of your life rests on the 4th house. What did your parents do? What kind of home did you have? What have they instilled in you as a child? The 4th house. What will your older life be? The end of life, I think, comes anywhere from 50 on. And the great planetary setup comes in between the ages of 40 to 44. Check it out. These are terrific periods of cycles. Sometimes it starts at 38 to 39. Sometimes it's 39 to 42. At that age, 40 to 44, you spend your last $5. That is your crisis period. So we can say life begins at 40. So anything after 40 is the 4th house. This is the house of the father, who is the oldest son, used to be the head of the family, and what father said went. This is an important house, an angular house, an active house, end of life. That's here. Home, end of life. Weak space, weak, as a family. It's a very feeling, important house. Conditions at home, real estate, parent, usually the father, the end of life, the end of things. The very basic principles that you're taught, the very fundamental things that you are used. Come in this house of interpretation. Now we're coming to know on the other side, beginning to be involved with other people. So this is the home, I would call it, and father. Now the 5th house is a very interesting house. It's the house of creativeness. Now what does that mean? Your children are your creation. Your art is creation. Teaching is creation. Acting is creation. You invest a part of you in creating something. We call it briefly your children, because this can be your flesh and blood children, this can be spiritual children, this can be artistic children. But we think of it basically flesh and blood children, but it is this has to have pleasures, it also deals with love affairs. Pleasure, theater, entertainment, speculation, creative ability, love affairs, hazard, money. are seated houses, they're stable, and they're money houses. Now we come to the sixth house. We call that, I call it service. These are mental houses. These are weak houses. Of all of the groups, these are the weakest houses we have. Now, don't get frightened. If you have Saturn in a Caden house, you're very happy in the detrimental there. The sharpness on the adverse planets wear off. It's what's the weakest house. So these were the strongest, these are the weakest. Mental houses, they're called Caden. They fall away in power. This is the house of service, the house of servants, the house of health or ill health. This is the way of work. If you have anything in the sixth house, if you have any planets or anybody, you are a servant. You are called to serve other people without appreciation. You will not be thanked. This is your destiny. Somebody else will, in an angular house, run off to the reward. With thanks. So the house of service, the house of the Army, Navy, the house of health, the house of nursing. Nurses will come into this category. People who serve the public. I have a hairdresser who comes to me. It's by planets in the sixth house of service, making money beautiful. But he wants recognition, but he's not going to get it. He's got to be contented that he's serving humanity, and that's his reward. In serving humanity, you get your health back. You don't question it. So if any planet there, you definitely have to have service to other people. Now here we have come. Now for the first six houses. Oh, all right. You have it all here. All right, I got it all here. I just take time. Now, all right, I'll go quick. These are all opposites. Everything in astrology, you're going to find opposites. The first house is opposite the seventh. Sixth house is away with the seventh. If this is me, who do I contend with? The other person. My husband, right? So we call it partner. And you have to go in there for a partner. So you contend with the other partner. You make a balance. You can't have everything I want, but my partner makes the stability. What I don't have, he has. What he doesn't have, I have. So we balance each other. It's the house of the doctor. It's the house of the lawyer. It's the house of the other person. We have partnership unions, messages. Now, in the strike that we were called, the union was on this side, and management was on that side. We set it up. We said, this is the union, this is management. The ruler of management was over in the house of the union. So we decided that management had to go to the union. The union wouldn't move, so management went to the union. So we figured the strike would be over 2 days. So that's how we did it. This is the person who's called, like the union, the strike was just called, this is the union, this is the people who are opposing the management. Now, if this is a money house, and add 6, you have another money house. This is a very hard, difficult house to explain. The house of money you don't earn. House of inheritance, insurance, legal matters, your partner's money. It's a very spiritual house. They used to frighten people and call it the house of death. And everybody was thinking the old days of physical death. But this can be a spiritual death to all things. Also, the money you would see other people's sides, but constructively he goes on, nature. The dual sign, wherever it is, two in your chart. You're likely to have twins if you get it on the 5th house. If you get it on the 4th house, you'll often have two homes, a summer home and a winter home. Dual nature, very mental, very flexible, very intellectual, but very restless and very changeable. Cancer, all curves, very understanding, sympathetic, highly emotional. Negative side, they wear their feelings on the outside like the crab, and they get too easily hurt for their own good. Leo the lion, a very proud sign, a very warm sign. We think of the Leo sign as being warm and kind to seaward. But on the negative side, a little too official. I'm the king, I'm the queen. So you have the warm, kind Leo who does everything he can to make you happy. Virgo, the sign of the Virgin, sign of the intestines, analytical, very good, exact and detailed. The intestines are very smart. They're ask you anything, but you just eat a good meal, and that's all you think about. And the intestines are very busy, discriminating against the vitamins and minerals and food. And then when they don't want anything, they shove the rest out. Virgo, you never stop to think about the intestines. Virgo, this is it. Taking only what they can use and knowing exactly where the vitamins are, knowing what the food material is, knowing just the minerals. So you don't stop to think. You're quite smart, right? And that's your discrimination is the key word. Now on the negative side, there's too fussy, too exacting. And of course, you know, you get too particular and your nerves tie yourself up into nervous illness. Now, opposite Aries is the sign Libra. A mildly aggressive sign, liking harmony, beauty, never willing to work hard to get the other fellow to do it. I don't know whether that's constructive or otherwise. On the negative side, they're moody, up and down, because they're the scales, up and down. They fluctuate in their moodiness. But they do love beauty, and they do love harmony, and everything in order. Opposite Taurus comes Scorpio. I put the tail of the scorpion up because it has two sides. All scorpions have two sides. There's the negative side of the scorpion that will sting you and retaliate and jealous. That's the negative side. Envy. The positive side is very, very deep spiritual meaning. I think of Gandhi and Mark Jones and many other people. Most scorpions have to run through this phase and they become very spiritual. So I always give them the benefit of the tail up. Now we have a very cold sign, although it's warm, in the Sagittarius. They're the archers. Straight to the heart of the matter. They haven't any time to waste on a lot of foolish emotions. We call Sagittarian keyword the philosophy. Oh, the philosophy. Oh. Coming straight to the point. Looking life over with a philosophical viewpoint. Having time to try. There's too much living to do. I've got too much to do. That's Sagittarius. On the negative side, they're terrific gamblers. They love the horse races. They like to take chances. And they get away with it. Sagittarius, the sign is a religious sign. You'll find they are, I've never seen a view with a planet, Venus. Religion is either for or against it. They can't be neutral. It's either a for or against, you know? It doesn't say when you're Sagittarian you'll swallow all the religions, but they definitely have ideas, and they definitely express them. Now Now we come to which is Capricorn, the little circle with some emotion. Man on his knees. Capricorn is the most practical sign we have. Key word is ambition. They want to get to the top, so help them. It's very good. And they're going to get there if they use you or anybody else as stones of breath. They're getting there. They're thrifty is another key word. They use everything. Very good. But on the negative side, they're very melancholy. They always see, for instance, been dying. Let's see, my little boy was born in 20 now. He's had an operation. We were going to go to Europe, but he's still living. But always melancholy, the 7-day range. They don't all have to be. You see, I mean, this is only, I'm talking about signs as the sun sign, because you may have a planet here, and then you may have 3 planets in Sagittarius, which will make you much more optimistic and overcome your Capricorn melancholy. See, Saturn. Capricorns on the negative side tend to worry too much. Always worrying about themselves or what's going to happen, if they have enough money. It's a thrifty sign, it's a practical sign, it's a good sign, it's very conservative. My son is Capricorn. And when the youngsters were walking around and everything, we sit by the phone waiting for the phone to ring to get him out of prison. He says, be careful. He says, no, but I wouldn't allow that to happen. He said, they got rid of pushing him, maybe I got involved in. They were pushing him into these wagons, and everything. I looked to see if my son was in it. When we come home, he was very shocked to think I would let his reputation. Capricorn is conservative. They'll go just so far, but their reputation, they like. They guard it. It's marvelous. They want to maybe have excitement with them. Just stop themselves. If you have any Capricorn children, don't worry about them. They'll just go so far. They don't want their name here. They don't want their reputation soiled. Now here's a sign of Aquarius. You never know. Aquarius starts this way. They go this way. They ain't not going a straight line either. They're too original. They love freedom. These are the key words. The negative side is that they're eccentric. They're queer. They're different. Can't you ever do anything like anybody else does, They're ahead of the world with new ideas like President Roosevelt. Now, the constructive side of Pisces, I haven't dwelt, but you can see where the curves and straight lines are, how much the sign has reason, cold logic, how much feeling and emotion. Is a water sign of high emotion. Here's the one. There's your reason. The 2 fishes are always pulling apart. The indecisiveness, the vagueness, the putting it off of Pisces. Let me dream a little bit. I'm not ready for action. Is Pisces. Negative. Now the constructive side, terrific spiritual mystery. Sensitive. Loving of beauty. Loving of harmony. Loving of the rhythm. I think I've covered. That covered the sign? All right.
Well, what's the positive and what's the negative of the sign? We get an awful lot of negative, but what is the positive?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Because tenacity, accessibility, feeling, warmth, analytical, beauty, a very deep desires, intense feelings, outspokenness or philosophy, thriftiness, originality, and music. Then I put that next one. It's not mean they're not harmonious. No, they're opposite. I'm trying to get you to learn. You have to learn opposite sign, opposite houses. So I'm trying to this one way in my house. To get it in your mind. That doesn't necessarily mean they're compatible. No. Fire and air are compatible, but these are to teach you that they're opposite. So when you hear Taurus, you know scripture.
These traits pertain to the middle of the sign.
It pertains from 0 to 30. It pertains to every planet. I forgot my ephemeris. See, how many of you have your ephemeris? I wanted to look at those over.
Wait, I'm not sure you answered my question.
No, these go from 0 to 30 degrees in the sign. These are, you mean the Aries? From 0?
Aries is about a month long, isn't it?
Yes, the
March
sun is
20
in
or
the
something
sign of
like that
Aries.
to April 20 is Aries. Well, now, do these traits pertain to someone in the middle of the sign? I mean, if you're at the beginning of the sign and you pick up, say, a little Aquarius, or if you're at the end of the sign, you pick up the first.
Oh, no, the whole sign.
You don't mean it's a clean cut.
Oh, well, no, we divide the sign into 3 sections later on, but they're all Aries.
Yes, but
It's all Aries signs.
these are what, the central portion?
So each one of these signs is 30 degrees.
Now, he needs to all these, the characteristics that you mentioned for each Aries, like, for instance, applies to all Aries. Is that what you're trying to say? Regardless of whether you're born at the beginning of the sign or the end of the sign?
All Aries
I mean,
signs.
if you're one day after an Aquarius, suddenly you're a Pisces.
Like you're born
Suddenly
at
you inherit all these, but if you're one day before, you inherit all these.
Well, it isn't quite sudden.
That's
It's
what I
been a
mean.
long evolution.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
And an evolution that is not just astrology, but this is a purpose. So, it does. But you do what we call cuspers. They are born just at the end of the sign, and they take on both signs. But don't forget, Mercury hangs around the sun within 30 degrees. Venus hangs around about 45, not quite 60. So you're going to get a Mercury, which is the mind. If you have the sun in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius, you're going to be much stronger as an Aquarius. But if you have the sun in Aquarius and Mercury in Pisces, you're going to lose some of that positiveness of the Aquarian. You're going to be sort of vacillating every once in a while. And people will say, well, I'm not the Aquarian. There's so many other things that are coming in to color this.
That's why so many people don't live up to what you think they should be like.
And then the sign that's rising and your moon sign, 3 things are very important in your life. Is the sign that's coming up on the ascendant, the sun sign, and the moon sign. These are the 3 things that are really important. Now, today is February the 9th. Oh, I mean, the moon is February the 9th on page 8. This is really like a sign. Now, you see on here it says day. This is the day of the month. Now, usually now they've been kind enough to tell us the Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We are meeting on Tuesday the 21st. And so we read the planetary positions here, but we go back to the top to read them. So let's go at the top. Now, I haven't given you the planets, but I'll give them to you today. The sun on February the 1st was in Aquarius. You see a little circle, that's the degree, and the little line is the minute. On the first day of February, the sun was 11 degrees, 56 minutes in Aquarius, right? Now, you run your finger down with the sun to the 19th. We don't repeat because if we did, we would not be able to see. You have to train your eye in astrology to see things, to see them quickly, or otherwise you're going to be lost. So we don't repeat the sign Aquarius, but when it changes, and the sun has gone over on the 19th to the Piscean sign, you see? I'm just going to say with February. So the sun today, on the 21st, is 2 degrees, 10 minutes of Pisces. See that? The Piscean sun, and it's more vacillating. The next planet is Venus. Venus is in the sign of Pisces. You run your finger down, there's no change in sign, and on the 21st of February, Venus is 26 degrees, 59 minutes of Pisces, getting ready to leave. It does leave the sign, and we have a different feeling of emotion as the world, of aggressiveness, on the 24th when Venus goes into Aries. Now we come to the next third planet, it's called Mercury. It's in the sign Aquarius. But you notice on Monday the 6th, it has changed sign to Pisces. Now we have a Mercury in Pisces, a rather vacillating, changeable in the signs of Mercury. If you run your finger down second, you see an R. It's reversing its position to retrograde planet, and it goes retrograding. And they only put this turn over to page 10. They only put the R at the top because the cutter R thing. Until you run your finger down to the 17th and you see a D. Mercury is retrograding. There are changeable things. Mercury is the planet of the mind. I'm getting into today's lesson. The planet of signing of papers. A restlessness. And you want to try to do only routine things or check on things that you would like to get formulated, go back and correct it, but do nothing of a permanent nature, because this is not a permanent period. Sign no papers, make no promises. Hedge the thing, take time to think. Wait, if you're forced to sign, these will folks throw out. But during this period, as I was saying, if you wanted to buy tomorrow $10,000 worth of plastic, you didn't really have to, but you did because you're ordering. By the time Mercury gets direct on March 17th, there will be a new kind of plastic or a new kind of color or a different need. And you say, why didn't I wait? Change it. Now, if you have a clause in there that if you're not satisfied, you don't have to take it, that will help you out. So this is, all right, now we're going on. Now we have, this is the Mercury. Now we have the moon. I do like to look at the moon. The moon is in the sign of Scorpio on February 1st at 6 degrees Scorpio. But notice as you run your fingers down to the 3rd, it's Sagittarius. Then the 6th is in Capricorn, then the 8th is in Aquarius, then the 10th is in Pisces, the 13th is in Aries, the 15th in Taurus, the 18th in Gemini, and in Cancer. Today it's in Cancer. Of course, it's not 18 degrees Cancer because it was 18 degrees Cancer this morning. I'm giving you a lot of things that I'm just tucking in your mind and you can pick them up later. To correct the moon in Philadelphia, add 1 degree, generally, for every 2 hours. Let's figure that out. All right, I count my fingers. 9 o'clock this morning, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and we're almost, let's call it 9 o'clock, right? All right, that would make it 6, 7, 2-hour period. So then I added to 18, 12. Now this is the way we write it. There's your moon, 25 degrees in Cancer, 12. Now this isn't quite accurate. Be a little more accurate, but that's good. So the moon has now moved from 18 degrees this morning up to 25 degrees tonight.
Maybe started morning at 2 o'clock, 6 to 12 hours, 6-hour period.
7.
How my fingers.
I do this with my fingers. I'm still fingers. Even now, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That's the period. Every 2-hour period.
Is that Philadelphia?
That's Philadelphia. Because, but my first period went from 7 to 9. That was my first period.
Oh.
And did your last one 9 to 11?
You started at 7.
And then I stopped at 9.
Well, then
That's 14 hours. It's 14 hours from 7 o'clock this morning, isn't it?
You always start at 7 o'clock in the morning?
For Philadelphia.
Uh-huh. It's 7 to 9, then 9 to 11, 11 to 1.
2-hour period. Now,
Would you please explain that again? I don't understand how you
I'm correcting it. The moon moves 30 minutes every hour. And that's to my brain, that was kind of confusing. So I use 2-hour periods. And for every 2 hours, the moon moves 1 degree. Every 2 hours, the moon moves 1 degree. So I I do all my thinking in 2 hours. So you start with 7 to 9, 9 to 10.
Every 2 hours, moon moves 1 degree.
Generally, it sometimes moves a little more, sometimes less, but that's too complicated now. But anyway, this is the way you correct it. Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Why don't they make one for just this area? Or if it's too much, they would have too many to make.
No, whether the magazines will have them, horoscope will have Eastern time, Western,
Oh,
and so
do
on.
they?
They do have it.
Oh.
But this is calculated for London, and so you go all the way around the world. This will be in time again, but I'll give you that now. All right, the moon tonight, and we're talking about 25 degrees Cancer. Saturn is in Pisces today, 2846, and you turn over, you'll see, in March the 3rd, or 4th rather, really the 3rd, Saturn has gone into Aries. It will not get back into Pisces for all those who are very happy about it, and for another 28 years. Good.
Excuse me, I thought that the Saturn transit about another 2.5 years.
That's 2.5 years.
Well, I thought it went from like July to February, 2.5 years, from February back to July.
It's not that easy.
It doesn't work that way. You have to actually break it.
You have to do it like
So,
that.
sorry, that's March.
2.5 years. You have to go by your camera.
When did you say it was going to change?
It really changes March the 3rd in the evening. They want to be really exact.
And then it's going to stay there for 2.5 years?
It's going to stay in Aries for 2.5 years.
So that's really going to affect Aries sign more than others?
Aries and Leo and Sagittarius will be very blessed by it, but the Cancer, the Libras, and the Capricorns will have problems.
Repeat that again. Which signs now? Aries, Sagittarius,
How do you know
and...
this?
How do you know this?
I have got my date with me. Saturn, that's Saturn, will be good, which is trying. Leo, Sagittarius. Might as well get used to this. That's good. Fighting is good. But Saturn will give problems to Cancer, Libra, Capricorn.
How do you know that they will get problems at a certain time?
Because when I take you into psychophysics, you'll understand more. I don't want you to know anymore. No. That's swearing. It's 90 degrees apart in the magazine. But you see, I'm getting ahead of myself in a lesson.
No, let's see, and then that's all.
No, all right. I'm taking psychophysics next week, and I will explain.
You take trouble for Capricorn, you think that for 2.5 years or
It all depends on how many planets you have in it. It all depends on your other planets. You may have planets in some places trining, which won't be as difficult. You'll have something. It's a very difficult thing. But basically speaking, then if it's 2.5 years, if you're early Libra, and early Capricorn, and early Cancer, you'll have more. But don't forget, we're having a Jupiter trine, which will help us. There's so many patterns. But basically, it's a square means there are problems. Now, problems don't need to be intense sometimes, and you can have much more help than other times. Now, toward the end of the sign, they won't get it for another 2.5 years. But it does color the sign.
what about the other signs? They are affected.
They're affected, yes. They're
But not
affected.
that much.
Yes. Well, it's a lot of more interpretation. The air signs are going to be benefited by it. Gemini, Aquarius, not Libra so much because it's opposition. Gemini and Aquarius.
Well, if you're born in a month, and say you're a Gemini or whatever you are, that doesn't necessarily mean you are that unless that's your rising sign, does it?
Well, you see, we have 10 planets which I want to get out to.
Yeah,
And they're scattered all through the zodiac.
No, but I mean, like, if you're born in a month and your sign, say, is Sagittarius or something, but suppose your rising sign isn't that. I mean, what is the most dominant? Your rising sign or the sign of the month you're born in? This is what I don't understand. I mean, now you say that these signs, how do you know that these are your signs even though you were born in that month?
natal sun is you yourself in a way, and it'd be much more effective. The other would be your attitude. Your sun itself, I mean, that's your vitality. Your sun rules your vitality, your energy. Now, where it's placed by house also tells me something. There's too many, we keep shading and paint. I'm just going to paint. I have to keep shading and adding this. It isn't just as flat as this, you know. We get into more color. What house does your sun belong in? What's the ruler of your ascendant? I mean, there's a lot of other things. There's so many other things. So I'm going to explain that. We're still looking.
We started on page 8 and somehow you switched to 10.
Well, because the reason I switched to 10 is because Mercury retrograding at tomorrow. I wanted to show you when Mercury went direct on page 10. It goes direct on March 17th. I would advise you all to watch this changeable upheaval. Sometimes it's worse than others. Be sure you look at your mail and you get the right address. Be sure you check on everything, count everything, because things can be so mixed up. Now, then I also went on page 10 because I wanted to show you where Saturn went into Aries and how we got divergence. That these are movements. Now, Jupiter is in Cancer, 27, R51, retrograding on February the 1st, but it's retrograding the whole period. Now you can tell a retrogration, the letters are getting smaller and smaller and smaller when you see an R. On the 21st, which is today, Jupiter is 25, Cancer 40. It has gone down 2 degrees since the 1st. It's retrograding. It's going backwards. Mars, on the 1st of February was 26 degrees, 15 minutes in Libra. On the 12th, Mars went over into Scorpio.
I'm sorry, which column is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't know whether to do this at the end of the lesson after I showed you the plan. Some people sometimes write them at the top. Mars then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Libra, but on the 12th it went to Scorpio. Uranus is in Virgo, February the 1st, at 23, retrograding 56. And it's slow moving because you see 23 all the way down, but you see the minutes are getting less. It's a slower moving planet. The moon, look how rapidly it's moving. Yes?
Now, this information, taking any one, take even the first day of February. I'm trying to find out just what this represents. We have our zodiac divided up into 12 parts, right? Each is 30 degrees. And say that the sun is in Aquarius on the 1st. Does that mean we take that little pie-shaped Aquarius and starting at the bottom, we measure up 11 degrees and 56 minutes? And that's the position of the sun?
He didn't get the chart. He didn't get the chart. He gave us like the wheel. The wheel. And the
You're going to confuse setting a chart up too with this thing. So just look at the signs of it. Yes. Now Uranus today is 23, Virgo 13, retrograding. The next to the second from the last is Neptune in Scorpio. Today it's 24, 22. Now, if you look back on the 18th of February, you see Neptune is still 24, 22, right? And then you see it all the way down to the bottom, 24, 22. This is called retrograde stationary. It seems it just sits. And you don't want to do anything when a planet just sits. So I usually say the first week just do nothing and then go on. However, Mercury retrograding, so you're already sitting, so I don't worry about it. Mercury retrogrades tomorrow. Now, Neptune is retrograding the 25th. Neptune will retrograde for about 5 months and 2 weeks. So after this, say pay no attention to Mercury. Neptune. Just go on your way so it doesn't exist. Not basically, no. It's that first week when on that stationary when it's powerful that I don't work. Because you can't sit still. Now, Mercury retrograde is usually 3 weeks. Well, we usually live through 3 weeks. But with Neptune and Uranus, it's 5 months. And you just simply cannot pass your life. You have to go on. You have to live. And these are bigger outer planets. Now, Pluto is in the back. And the last one. They're beginning to write Pluto BL. Today, Pluto is 1942. Retrograding in Virgo. There was a time last January, February, and March, so help me, the world was sure upset because Pluto and Uranus were plunked together at 18 degrees Virgo. If anybody had anything there, you sure had nervous breakdowns, falls, hospitalizations, discouragement, you name it, it came.
When was that?
December, January, February, and a little March. Now, if you didn't have anything, there's something trying, the spirit went through by you like Johnny. 65 to 66. Starting in December 65, January. Not only that, this little Mars, this is the planet of energy, was there too. And Saturn was there. Oh, yes. The world was in one grand unhappiness. If you weren't, anything in your planetary setup wasn't involved in this, it didn't pass you by, but a lot of people did get involved.
When we make up the chart, will we know this? Will we understand this?
Well, we make up, but I'm trying to tell you for going on, it takes time. Now, down at the bottom, I'm going to do it now, and then I will not have to do it in a lecture. Something like this. When I come to the planet, I have to work quick. This is called the North Node. You see this at the bottom of the page. Or they call the dragon head. I will omit this when I come to the lesson. It is on the 1st of March. They used to give them every time. They couldn't make up their mind about Pluto, and you'll see some ephemeris having the node here. Sometimes they say the moon node.
This is the north sun,
This is the north node.
the way it is now.
In Taurus degrees, 10 degrees of Taurus. This is a good spot in a chart. This is favorable. This is protection. You see how it looks? If you got under rain or storm, you come underneath it and you'd be very protected. Thanks, I'll try to remember mine. It's called the dragon's head. Wherever it falls in your chart, it's very good. It's something you have earned, you don't worry about. The dragon's head. Now, opposite, by sign and degree, is the dragon's tail. So if this is 10, and we don't put degrees in because we clutter up a chart again. Is that what it was? So the north node is 10 degrees in Taurus and 11 minutes. The south node, or the dragon's tail, is opposite. Now, they don't going to put that down in the book because you're supposed to know it. It's written opposite. It's something you fall into. It's a weak spot in a chart. And this is in 10 degrees Scorpio. And 11, I think, what's the time? I forgot the minutes, or 12. The south node has to do with that which I do not want to be. A weakness. Open your book here. It's that degree, and that's it. Now, in order to keep them apart, we write the sign in between. So you see down here, the north node 10 degrees in Scorpio, Taurus. Therefore, the south node is exactly opposite. By house and sign, the same degree.
Well, they just give that February 1st. What happens on the other days?
What has the difference? It doesn't move that far. You can calculate. You see, they didn't have enough. It used to be the old ephemeris had the nodes here. And then they put Pluto down here. Now I've noticed that they don't know which to do, unless they crowd it more. And it's a case of which do they think is more important. The position of Pluto. Well, if you look over on page 12, you'll see it is, the node is now 832. It moved about 4 degrees. Let me get this right.
Calculate that proportion right
Yeah. Well, I'm going to roll call. I'm going down planets now.
Put your passes around and let us pass it back there.
Yes, all right.
It shows the north node here. What do you find the south node?
It's always opposite. It's always opposite by house and sign, but same degree. That's what I put down here. 10, Scorpio, 11. These south nodes. They expect you to know a lot of things. Yes. And the reason we do it this way is to save the little degree sign. If we're going to clutter a chart up, you're going to be very cluttered. So we say degree, sign, minute. And there's
Opposite by house and planet.
house and sign. Let me call Baker.
Here.
Charlotte. Kathy. Gassner. Here. Taylor. Here. Pete. Here. Gonzalez. Mrs. Alfred. T-R-O-N-C-E-L-I. Not here. You were here last week. Mrs. Alfred. Gonzalez. Here. Sorry. Estelle John. Here. Finn. Here. Kelsey. Here. Farm. Here.
recording the screen, and that's working.
technique of calling dreams in course and interpreting them. The kinds of dreams are rather all-inclusive. There are dreams of instruction where you learn something about a subject perhaps which is normally out of reach. There are dreams of warning, which we have classical examples of that, where the dream is given almost literally in order to warn a person of an impending accident or death perhaps to a relative or something of this kind. There's also the dream of diagnosis. Now this is an interesting kind of dream because, as we know these days, when we go to a doctor, we don't go to a GP, we go to a specialist. The human body and the medical field seems to have been split up into a number of different specialties and cases, and these things are analyzed in each field. Who is the doctor now who is able to analyze the situation of the whole man? This is really taking the whole diagnosis. Now, the answer to that is I'd like to give you just a little insight on it because this is rather important to me. It has to me personally. It's something that can be developed. It's also something which partakes of something of the type of dream that precedes the warning dream. Now, I have had a dream in which there was a suggestion shown. This happened several times. It looked like a blood drain. This is a dream that gives them several times. I didn't think about it. I thought it was one of these fragments, perhaps a little bit too much time before the one was dead or something like that. I didn't pay too much attention. Sometime later, I developed a very sudden fever. And this was, there was no cold. It wasn't a company cold. It wasn't a home. It wasn't anything. It can be like a little
in everything. I knew which film it was in. Another fellow and I had just completed a film on old New York. Done in color, had it down, had all the sound effects put together. And so I felt that it was about the picture. There's no many other films that do that important. Because all of it, put our shirts and everything else in it. Spent a lot of time and knowledge. And still, with a work like that, I was not alert to know at what point that film passed from my hand into someone else's. Now, the legal knowledge and the legal struggle that result of this moment of blackout, I would say, on my part, because I didn't pay enough attention. This is my mistake. Was just like the film. The snarl, the legal snarl, the personal animosity, the everything, the loss of money, everything, the difficulty was just like that kind of film. It could have been a better analogy. And yet I was blind enough to let it get by. Every once in a while I would think like that. Whenever I think, so smart, so on, that is part of the course. So the photography scene is useful because it shows a situation. And it will show many times different personality involved in the situation and what's important. And you can see there for a moment what the consensus is. And you can operate according to what is shown. But most people, when they have a dream like this, somehow lose the assurance that they were with the dream and right. They seem to doubt it. And doubt never did anything for anybody. They just didn't. And so, when one does not look back in confidence and faith on what they have seen, once the thing is set down and carved and analyzed, they work on it a few more times. Then act on it in faith. Then there comes the realization that we are not alone, that we are not beyond help. But help comes within. And that some part of us within cares very much what happens to us. Now, there are other dreams where you have a summarizing, a dream of a summary. It's more of a dream of digestion. An example of that type of dream I had years ago when we were living in Florida for some 5 years. We both, my wife and I both were very crazy about living in Florida. We loved it. We only came back to New York. We missed the color, the bright sky, flowers, the beautiful the trees, and all of the natural things. We were back where we looked out the window of a brick wall. It was gray, sky was gray, smog was gray, people were gray, everything. And we felt so depressed. Now, this would be a critical situation because our job was in New York. We were going to have work things. And we better somehow get ahead and get the light fast because otherwise we would lose the stability, the ability to work on our job. And I had this dream. Yeah, I attributed it as an act of God's mercy. I can't think of any other story.
where everything in it is just sort of left down, and we just wouldn't care very much if we didn't wake us up one. It's just worn out. And this particular tree, I was talking to the colonel who was out of the we're going to come back to him a little bit later. Because his brother was. But I was talking to him, he left the scene before I did. He went downstairs to the dining room. And later on, I followed him down there to the dining room. This is still on the green one. And before I got to the dining room on the lower floor, there was a little table. Somebody was standing behind that table. And had a nice glass. What comfort like that. With about 2 cents of whiskey. And this person behind the table smiled and said, "The Colonel left this for you. In order for it to look like medicine, I'll put this in the room." A little bit of humor. The stimulation that I needed was given as a simple word. When I woke up, I was able to go for many days on the meat of that disease. I had the illness, the depression and so on. I literally bounced out of bed. I mean, as a young person does. I mean, really, really full of energy and ready to go without having a recurrence of this terrible depression, which had been brought on by some current. But this I always thought of as a healing dream because it embraced body, mind, and spirit as one. And too often we have fragmentized ourselves. We have divided ourselves up. But if we can be treated as one entity, one unit, I think they will be doing better. And this is one of the things which comes about through our dreams. We are treated that when we allow ourselves to be healed by the natural agency and intelligence within it. Because the healing is already there. And all we have to do is to get out of the way of it. And the thing may come to show us how to do it. Now, I don't know, I'm going to start on the second part of the discussion here. And if I do, Bill will probably say, "Well, I remember you talking about that when I was being on before." So what's the check? Check. The reason I think that I always go back to this is because it is a kind of helpful, when you learn to play the piano or when you learn to play a game. And we start with the simple things, and this is one of the simple things. I love simple things. You don't love simple things. Yeah. And so I thought I would like to line this out for you, but first I'd like to give you a little analysis of how, and I'll take one, which is run something like this. This is what I agree. This is the poetry. An actual one necessarily, but it gives you an idea of the various ways in which dreams can be interpreted. The various ways in which it can be looked at. And yet, actually, the real meaning would be valid on all levels. Now, I'll give you an example. Supposing I were to dream of the house, let's say, where I was born. And I look at it as a dream, and I remember how it looked, and so on. And then, in the dream, I go into the house. I go into the basement, and I find in the basement that there are termites gnawing away on the structure of the thing. When I wake up, perhaps at first it doesn't mean very much. I think, well, this is not very important. Really, I mean, it shows the decay and generations of time. Just fun, I'll go over and take a look at that house. So I make the trip over to this house, or to the city where the house is. I go down, perhaps, into the
I picked up a bit of intelligence at a distance, and this is quite something. And let's say I work on my dreams for another year or so, and I begin to think back on this dream. I think, well, my knowledge, it isn't. The fact that I did discover that this is true is fine, but then what? There is yet another level here. In other words, how does this apply to me and why was it given? It isn't important that the house itself has the termite, because that's about the same anyway, maybe. But why was this given to me at this particular time? Now, let's take one symbol at a time. We have written the dream, presumably, in a paragraph. I will describe. Just as it happens, but putting in all details, every little detail, which way you're facing, and what color, particularly, what was being worn, and so on, everything. This is written down, leaving a wide margin. Now, as you read over the dream that you have written, pick out a symbol. Now, the first symbol you come across in this particular dream is the house. This is the house in which I was born. And this may baffle me for a while until I begin to realize that the house that I am born in is my life. It's where I live and move and have my being. It's in me. What this house means. Then what are the termites that are going on the other structures? Well, when you start to analyze the word to gnaw, you begin to think about those mice. Termites. I think it's a kind of so word. It's also gnaw. So that when you get to break this down to its final form, the word you can actually use is a dream message which reads something like this. In a like manner, as the termites are gnawing at the foundation of the house that you were born in, in a like manner, so the worries and fears that are gnawing away on you and the deeper part of you can bring down the structure too unless you do something about it. Now, to me, that is a controlled super intelligence that gives any information like that. Because I couldn't have sat down and thought this up about writing a story. So in interpreting the dream, we have to think first, take it literally. See if it works that way. Setting it down, interpreting it literally. If it doesn't work, then take it and interpret it figuratively. And usually you hit pay dirt on the figuratively because the dreams are given to us symbolically. One part of it is writing a message to another, and these symbols they make up the alphabet, by which the deeper part of you is making itself known to you. Now, if we want to learn a foreign language, it's what we have to learn. But is there a foreign language, or any language anywhere, more important to know than that which is being, which our own health is being used? As one works with these dreams, right, putting down the symbols. For instance, there may be the dream that's been written here, in the margin, the white margin, you put house, the structure, and then below that you might have the termite. Now, you can run your eye up and down over these symbols until you can say, what does this mean to me? Until you break it, you can do it that way. Sometimes it will be so clear that you can see it immediately. But the point is that as you gather more of these things, maybe Bill was describing in his book, maybe there are a lot of blank pages of dreams you have been able to perfect. This doesn't mean to say that you won't. We have to keep plugging it, and keep plugging at this until it This is a part of this. I always kind of enjoy it, but I'm always very fond of here. I love here. I'm sorry that there aren't more things around that are worth looking at, but everything about it intrigues me. And the greatest theater that we know is our theater. And some of the actors across our state while we're are worth studying and worth looking at because most of them act in a certain way. And in the way they act, not necessarily what they say, but in the way they act, they can be understood who and what they are. Now this eliminates an awful lot of labyrinthine travel through all the phases of body that unconscionable furnish on the man. I mean, if anyone's ever tried to read the book of Revelation in the Bible, he lands in the symbology right up here. Most of it is unintelligible. And why they call it the book of Revelation? Well, people would give a great deal to know. It's more of a book of history. But if you can look at the book of Revelation after having studied your dreams and begin to read it symbolically, that thing springs out of three dimensions in a way that makes your hair curl. It's really a thing. It's a manual of discipline. And it shows how we are made and what we must do for our own development under controlled conditions. Now, this is something. I don't know of any pastor anywhere that understands who has ever looked at the book of Revelation like this. And yet this is being studied outside of religious circles. And a great deal of hater is being propagated. Now, in a like manner, since the book of Revelation is written on the same level as the dream, you can also go to the book of Genesis. Take a look at the first 3 chapters and know what that says. It sounds like a fairy tale, which it is. But the fairy tales and the legends are the only true stories if you want to look at it that way. And we have access to those things all the time. Contemporary literature is going to tomorrow. The fairy tales can't live forever because they tell a story we told. And they always tell the same story. They tell it over and over and over in different ways. And it's like they do it. But we listen, you know. Why is it that the father always uses the foolish things of their daughter to instruct his children? Now, I'd like to discuss a little bit some of the figures that cause our state and our being because I think it's rather helpful to be able to recognize and know what can be expected of each one. The first group, there are 7 in this particular list, in this particular group. The first group that I thought about studying was what I call the spirit carriers. Now, the spirit carriers are the ones in the dream, like on the operatic stage, they'll have some great spectacle, and everybody will be singing in one great big chorus, but they need to have guards in and out spheres, swell the crowd, make it that one foot. They don't do anything, they just hold the spirit stand there, ready to make them out, we look like they're singing. But they're there, that's all. And these are figures in our dreams which are there because we expect them to be there. In other words, they are self-created. We are creating these figures. These are the figures which, if we were dreaming, let's say, of the busy Times Square with the people going back and forth, we don't see will be there because we have projected them there. We expect them to be there. We always see them in waking life in Times Square, so we expect to see them in our dreams, and they're there. They don't say anything necessarily, if we're aware of them, and if we make a move in the dream, we find that these figures are very obliging to move out of the way. They seem to have we're going to move out of the way. Well, these are shadows. These are projections that we have created because we expect them to be there. There's some kind of manufactured something for them. They're there. And they're, as I say, very agreeable. They'll move away, they'll open up. If you want to move this way, they'll open up and you'll find a way right through the middle of it, which is not like either. Related to this are what second group I've called the dummy relatives. Dummy relatives are our concept of members of our family, friends, people we might be a public figure, but they look exactly
like mother, father, uncle, side, whoever it is. But they are our projections. They are our opinion of what uncle side is. And here again, we find the same strange condition. It's so good. Now, anybody who has a real peppery relative knows that a relative it's necessary to distinguish here, and this is my point, it's necessary for us to distinguish between the self-projected figures which we create in our own wishing home and the real contact that we make during sleep, where we pick up a real person, and the result is entirely different. This is the way we would tell the difference. If the dummy relatives are so accommodating, we find every once in a while the rest of one who is, and who will say something, which is something we have not foreseen. It will show that we are in contact with another entity, because there is opposition, not acquiescence. There is a feeling of opposition. You know how it is when you talk to somebody, you talk to a friend, you stand and you see others talking. And you are aware of the sense of presence which comes from him. There's an aura of what we call it, I don't know, but there is a sort of a radiation. And you experience this in the dream pretty sharply when you do run into another entity, another individual. And as I say, you can run into father, mother, whoever it is in the dream, and when you encounter the real one, it doesn't matter if that person is in our life plan or whether it's over or time. We have access to them, they have access to us. The barriers are down. And we begin to see what the human mind is one of the most gorgeous pictures ever made. I mean, from the if we understand it. And a good way to understand it, less than breadth and depth, is through dream. And this is somebody came along one time and talked about love. So they man took this idea and he started fooling with it. Pretty soon he spread to churches and got a little complicated about it. Something that most human notice is complicated about it. If we just think of the whole stuff as being universal and concerned, I mean, we are in a safe hands, so to speak. Now, let's go up to the next little group. These I call the creatures. These are such like creatures and just light. Very similar. They something like I talked about for a while. I feel very much like most women have a reputation for being absolutely paralyzed by life. And I couldn't agree with it more. I feel the same way. That's what when I see them in my dream, I react in anxiety. And anxiety is what the last of my mind is. It creates the fear in me. No. What to eradicate, what to clean out in order to be back in balance. You remember a movie many years ago called Lost Weekend. Now, on Lost Weekend, Ray Moran is shown in an alcoholic who lands in the alcoholic workers in Bellevue, and the man on the next cot is a huge Negro who has the big feet. And the huge Negro turns to Ray Moran and says, "You ain't silly animal." And then when Ray Moran began to have that experience where he had projected these images from himself so that they actually appeared in these waking moments to run across the floor around him. It's just an extension of the dream, actually, isn't it? Because all of us worry. All of us are a lot of little things that nag at us, so we're half out of our mind. We're rather to sit down, analyze the things, throw them out, cleanse them, touch ourselves these things. Particularly, why worry when we can pray? Ever try that some night when you're lying and trying to figure out how you're going to need to get over this trauma? Works fine. Wake up and learn to pray. There are other animals, of course. There are the animals that would show up in horses. Dragons, serpents, and so on. Now, these can be archetypal figures from the collective unconscious. This is true from the area of the legend. But these animals are also typify the bodily forces, the energy. Shown in the book of Revelation as the red horse, black horse, the white horse, the pale horse. These are the lower centers, which are the energy, are symbols of the energy. The serpent, as they built around the stick that we find in medical force as symbols of the mental force that comes from the lower on up to the mind and giving us the wisdom and insight. At the same time, the treachery that man has. I mean, all of these forces are good, and we choose to use them as good. But if we allow them to use us, then we can let them trouble. And these also appear. We have to analyze them and break them or do which they are. And work with them. I think one of the most beautiful dreams that I ever had was the dream of a corral. And I was sitting on a fence, looking into the corral, and someone whom I could not see was leading a beautiful common nose. Oh, it was a beautiful animal. It was a ripple under the hide and the foot. It rose right up out of the first. A real panting thing and full of energy. It's just about touching each other. Long white tail with a creamy hide and the all new line. And then this animal was led in front of me like this. And nothing was said, but the feeling in my own mind is one thing was, now, mount and ride. Now here was a symbol, the energy of itself. When it is purified, when it is directed, so that we control the harness, the new harness, the new control, it all works out after a while. You see what it's meant. And we begin to look for the opportunities in order to bring out the new energy in the body. So that as a result of this application of seeing this dream and holding it this way, that new energy comes flowing into the body from the lower centers on up lifting one out of that swallow spawn that most of us wallow in because of the routine of our existence. And life again is a pleasure and a delight. Now, so I've already told them that the friends and their relatives who are living dead, who we do it glory. There's a deeper level that I call the Olympians. Now these are not self-created entities. They are not actual people or entities, but they are race created. These are deep unconscious, and these are the forces. These are sometimes hybrids. You remember, in all the lore of mythology, you find these hybrids. You find the half-man, half-goat. There is the hybrid that we know very well. There is another one of the half-man, half-horse, the centaur. These are forces of that animated man in the past. When you call it higher, but they're still alive down there. They're not that they ever die. Sometimes, in rare cases, these things are presented. I mean, we'll meet an archetype of old man who will be the man who is steering a ferry boat. Who lives along the beach. And he's an archetypal teacher. Now, this seems to come from the collective unconscious. So the things that the long, deep past of the prophets, their time when this was wisdom. But it may be a little archaic now. one of the phases of the call our attention that our present intelligence up here now is perhaps a little bit, depending on how simple it is. We're giving it up. Sometimes it's also something. You have to, according to this is the science, goes into the laboratory, make sure they understand, test it from this way, test it from that way, in order to understand what we to the newcomer, to the neophyte, this may look like he has the protection of the wise old man. So a wise old man might be a very wise old man, very swell every day. But watch what costume he's wearing. The symbol of wisdom for today would be very modern clothes. This is a possibility. I'm just throwing some of these things out. But everything that comes up in our brain, we have to analyze, we have to think. And one of the things that we have to be very careful is of any figure, in any dream, who says do this or do that, or think this or think that. Because we are guaranteed by the very law of our existence, we have to keep doing it. And even the Father will not tell us what to do. He will not give us any guidance or help until we ask for it. I've come to the seventh one. The next one is the most important. I hope that you have here made a very good being patient. Because it seems to me if we had some sort of a unique guidepost in this area, because through our dreams and through our intuition, through our meditation sometimes, they're not sophisticated. I don't like that word, but it's really nice. We can get into a worse state by acting on something that is not properly thought out. Now, none of us want. None of us want. So, we look for one figure always. Some people have spoken of him as the authority, going back or two. The book of Revelation talks about how John hears a great voice calling from behind him. And he turns around and he finds a very horrendous figure sitting in the midst of a candlestick in which there are 7 candles glowing. And this figure has got hair like rabbit wool. He has glowing eyes, and he has a tremendous voice. It sounds like tremendous pipe organ to gather. And you'll gather also that he is wearing a white robe, and that he says in so many words, I am he who is first and who is last. I am he who is dead and who is alive forevermore. Now, I don't know how often that's been read through the ages. I don't know. In the last 1,000 years, whatever it was. But if we were to understand that this is John's highest self, this is the part of John which remained before the throne, before the Creator, and never was spoiled by past birth. This is the part of John which projected his personality that is known as John. In other words, and a good analogy of this would be something like this. I'm an artist, I'm very partial to pictures to illustrate something. I always feel this is the best way. And this is about the simplest way I can explain this principle without getting into all the words that would be necessary. Supposing from these ways comes a flying saucer. And in this flying saucer there is the navigator, the one man, or the one entity who is in charge of this flying saucer. This flying saucer is in touch at all times with its source. 20th century today, with radio or television or whatever it is, it's always in touch. He reports that he comes into the cut himself off. Still, the captain supplies the light to him. And he contacts with it and gets so bogged down and mixed up in here that he has to be thrown out by a redeemer, which is now this we call it Christian. We call it the Christ stuff. The part that is not colored by actual earth contact. And yet, it holds out the thing to rescue like that. The first thing is often served all the time. Because there are some who turn to the ray that supplies them and worship in whole in freedom and joy. There are others that will go on trying again and again and again to do impossible things in this command. Over and over, and still finally it's proved to be weak. But this is the story of man's situation and his relationship with his deeper self. And when you encounter this character, you recognize several ways, one of which is a sense of overpowering ecstasy in the dream outcome. There's expensive burst of joy that is beyond anything that you could get from any sensory stimulation. I remember when I became aware for the first time of this the colonel I was doing. And as I stood there talking to him, I was still, I was listening. And I was so anxious to observe it. I was so eager. I was hoping he would drop something so I could pick it up. Anything, just any angle. And I reached in my pocket like this to pour something, and found that both of the breast pockets of an Eisenhower jacket were stuffed full of apple stuff, grain, old pieces of junk, pop bottle caps, anything that was useless. And I reached in like this, and I looked at the man, and I could feel myself blush, and I said, oh, I meant to clean these out. And he just nodded and smiled. And this is one of the hallmarks that he said very little. But one look from him, or one gesture, conveys so much. If he speaks at all, we could say a word or a phrase at most. Because he doesn't explain things and belabor you with it. He'll put the answer to something on the table. He'll leave it there, and you have to reach out and get it. Now, this is a wonderful good on the education. I don't know how many here are teachers. But the dreamer is supposed to do the work. He is exposed to the truth, but it's up to him to what he does about it. And nobody's going to push him. Nobody. So learn through his own heart, and he can't blame anybody else. He can't blame anyone, because the information is there, it's available, it's free. One of the things about the contact with this higher self is that from then on, for some reason, the dream interpretation is so easy. It opens up like some of old bank power doors, just like that. And it spots points and go along like this, because once you've encountered the real teacher, this is the real teacher, then you are exposed to it. Sometimes he won't appear in a dream, but still look for it, and you'll find perhaps one corner of the dream or some part of the dream. Someone else can smile. Now, these are the little thumbprints things around to show that the message is for him. Or the dream. Sometimes it'll be in a color. But the whole point of what I'm saying is that so far as I've been able to see it when it's been done, it's on the basis of the idea that man is a mechanistic creation or creature. But the dream, the study of the dream, and the study of Harry, and the universality of it, is the great sweep and scope and depth people who, up until that time, most of them, did strange. They come in every class, talk about dreams. And of course, the first thing we want to do is get them dreaming and recording the dream. So, I always say, well, now, tomorrow, anyone who has had a dream overnight, bring in the dream, have a look at it, and desire what we can discuss it. Now, well, it's usually about this size. Not too large, not too small. If they can cry, people that in a discussion drink. Well, that drink tonight, you will find that on that first night, the head starts to dream again. Because the mind has been turned that direction. They might not have given any definite suggestions to the mind, and dropping off to sleep, as we do sometimes. Perhaps they haven't even prayed about it, but they come in with a dream, you get maybe 5 or 6 or 7 the very first day. And after that, they get them free. But, and this is the point, because a lot of people assume that because a person has been studying dreams for a long time, it's going to take a long time for them to encounter this by itself. But so many times, the person's ready to dream in class. There in front of it is the symbol. The open right here. And the person who had the dream will say, I don't know who it was, it was a man standing over there behind the counter, didn't say anything, but then he goes on to talk about something. This is the witness, the watcher. Where he is, what you look. Now, my point is that these people are just starting to dream. That the figure was there the whole time. The thing that was lacking was that they didn't know where to look. And that is our fault. When we are not aware of this kind of stuff. You remember in the book of Revelation, several occasions, John was so overwhelmed by this vision that he went to kneel down and worship this vision. And called him the angel. A lot of times called him. And in the Jewish metaphysics, he is spoken of as the angel. Because it is a sort of a guardian figure as well. John goes to worship this figure, and the figure tells him, "Think I'll do it not, for I too am a servant." Twice he says that in the course of the book. Now, the idea is that many times in the dream you'll find this figure has, say, an editor. The only way. Yes. There is the elevator operator. He is in charge of the system. But the elevator operator is hired by the facility. So the elevator operator is at the center of the flight. Now, every time you run into this figure, you'll on all night, but I won't. I'll throw it on here. Thank you very much. It's very good.
First of all, we'll go out to the center tonight. The light comes so very well. Number two, we're going to have a free workshop tomorrow night. Probably 3 o'clock. And it'll be remembered. And you'll, you're free tonight. Now, if you have questions,
Are dreams of the death of someone always prophetic, or are they can be interpreted in a different way?
that's a very good question, because this is something that frightens a lot of people. They'll dream of something that looks like their own death, or the death of someone else. Now, many times a dream like this means that it is the death of a part of the life. Let's say, adolescence is the death of childhood. It's a new phase that's opening up. It's rebirth, actually. And I remember there was a reading that Casey gave. The person said, last night I dreamed I died. And I recall it was in the question that Casey showed that you have come to the end of a certain part of your life, which was important for its time. But now you're ready to go on into a more higher type of with wider scope, greater opportunity, and said, and I worked on it, but it's only working wife, and he had made this decision book. And he said, I heard you get it done. He said, I knew that it wasn't perfect. But he said, I don't know if I got time or what. And then he sat there for a while. We didn't say anything for, I guess, maybe. I was eating away. I was hungry. But he would have really never been had his mind like this. He was feeling like he said, that's my whole life.
He's going to make his own way. Yeah. He's quite fortunate in that his Jupiter rising is quite a protection to his house. And it has a terrific protection. Jupiter trine Uranus, air sign, there is a tendency of jealousy. Venus is sitting down, but he has to overcome it. He is jealous of somebody else who would take over the floor. Now, you're not aware of it because Jupiter makes him quite optimistic. He does have Leo rising. I mean, in the 10th house. Saturn means he does get to the top. He does, right. But he has to use his position with wisdom, or otherwise is going to have a lot of heartache. Now, you see, Saturn and Pluto in conjunction is, of course, is a what we call a period thing. It doesn't pertain so much to the individual, because when Pluto and Neptune and Uranus, what did I tell you today, were discovered, they belong to the outer planets. So that we often call these group, the children of today, we say. And so this is a group pattern. Well, with him, personally, it takes part of his 10th house. Now, also, to describe you as a mother. Tell me about it. That describes you that because with Saturn there, you're likely to be more of a disciplinarian and not of a flatter, which Leo wants. And therefore, Leo. I mean, Saturn and Leo. Oh, Saturn and Leo. Oh, I see. Yeah. And we're here this time. Yeah. You're likely to discipline him and curb his, let me just wait. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you about it. You're going to regret it. Now, Saturn and Leo, in this age, the children are afraid, just Saturn and Leo, wherever it is, are afraid to associate with other children. He really should be, when he was young, be pushed into with other children. But in that, away from other children. Well, with Saturn and Leo, usually, they keep themselves to themselves. Exactly, but he's just the opposite. He's a social butterfly in our family. But he didn't associate exactly right, because now he has Saturn and Leo. Where is it? Because it's a full moon. He has usually, then he didn't really associate with them on the planes that he should have associated with them as a child and a boy. I still can't get away. I have to find a way of explaining it, because it really works. And I know it. This is a really, I don't care how much he was with children, he was a lonely boy. He was. Now, he may have tried to get the companionship for flattery, because Leo wants to flatter, and they want to be made secure. He is not a secure child. He has these inner conflicts. Saturn and Leo squared, and we had the quadruples. Scorpio mixed. We haven't had aspects, but it's moving on. There is a terrific feeling of responsibility, a terrific feeling of loneliness at times. It's not very good for a great deal of warm social love. It's a cold burden, I would say. Part of his Leo. That's true. Now his Saturn is there opposing his moon in the home. This boy is not happy at home, and the sooner he gets away, the better. Nothing to do with the home. It's he himself will be restricted. He is terribly independent. Look at that Aquarian moon. No matter, but he isn't secure. This is where it's a conflict. Wanting to be independent. You see, great show-offs are very insecure. I know, this is why they take it out. And that's when they take it out. They don't want anybody to know, and they don't really realize the cover-up. It's a cover-up. And he can have a terrific cover-up. Now, Mars in Libra is not good, again, for marriage. It's not good for marriage. But, as I said, I'll tell you this. Now, Mars in Libra is very good for a conflict, for somebody who will understand, somebody who will work. Now, he has terrific possibilities. This got a lot of problems, yes, I'll admit. And he's also got a lot of good Libra there, Gemini there, Moon there. Oh, Moon there, Aquarius. Oh, the Aquarius, oh. Yeah. Then air sign. So the air is a lot of responsibility. No, the air gives him the ability to go out among people, to get ideas, to leave his problems alone, to say what. Yeah. It makes him able to travel, to breathe, the air breathes in and out, breathes in and out. And this is excellent. This is his escape. To go out among very sensitive, he said it. Oh, sensitive. My God, you can't look at him the wrong way. Now, but he has this very, very deep jealousy that is a jealous sort. Somebody in the house? Sort. Money matters. And he has this so you're going to have terribly, terribly detail work. Oh, it's impossible. So, yeah. Now, he's going to leave home very suddenly and very quickly. These squares Uranus. He's going to do a lot of things you're not particularly going to like. But this is the boy who's got to find himself, and when he finds himself, he can make a very good person. Jupiter there is terrifically wonderful. It's very highly protective. Now, the thing is that bothering him now, Pluto, Uranus and Pluto are in Virgo. And Uranus is going back over that Uranus, I believe. Pluto is back as 16. But until then, it's impossible living. You're just holding dynamite in your hand for fear it will explode. Because he himself don't know what's going on. I said, how do you cope with this? As patient as you can, and as understanding as you can, and no bounds, because he doesn't have bounds. And look, if a person doesn't have any boundaries or any walls, they don't open down. What do you do with a person like this? Now, his Mercury is in Virgo, a good Mercury, because it's in the sign of Virgo. It sextiles Venus, and it has a very good deep mind. It's healthy Mercury, health problems, very bad health problems. But his health problems stem on his nerves. It's high up in his intestines until he gets colitis and his nerves are so shocked. What will he be best for his residence when his life work, type of work? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points and the houses. Now the moon rules Cancer, and the Cancer is all, he's going to have more than one occupation, so don't worry about it. He's going to go from one thing to another. But he's a born actor, born leader, a born entertainer. Somewhere he's working in with children. This air thing, he goes psychic work. Well, no, I didn't say psychic, it can be. I have seen the set of Leo and Virgo, where they are terrific people in the theatrical world that work behind the scenes. They do hairdo, they make up, they do design, they do clothing. Well, they're not the actors themselves, but they open a shop where the actors are on diets and things. But this is a terrific field for them. But he's got to work with people. Sometimes he's afraid of people with that opposition. He's got Saturn opposing his rule. But he'll get away. As long as he's got to get away from home, I'm sorry, I forgot it. No, I want you to tell me. He's got to find himself. He's going to find himself on his own.
do better that way, huh?
Do you think he'll be all right? He'll make it all right?
Oh, he'll make all right. He's got to find himself now. He's got to find himself. He's got the moon in this very eccentric, independent sign of Aquarius. You can't hold that boy down.
Well, these burgers are always
But
crazy,
this
aren't
is
they?
Virgo. This is moon in Aquarius. Don't mix up your things.
I know, but I used to go, I just think of Virgo, but almost all the Virgos I know are like this.
It's in Virgo now.
And that's not good, is
And,
it?
well, I mean, this is his great time for finding himself.
It
And
is.
they're like, oh, God, so he told them, where the hell on those big of that? This is Uranus, squaring Uranus. Freedom. Independence. I've got to be my own. Now, if you can just hold yourself, I know a lot of the people being born in the States, where they're throwing the kids out.
Say what?
They're throwing the kids out, because they're beating, they're dirty.
They are.
I've taken some of them in my house for a while because they're raging mother and so on. You can't do this to me. Because the door is open, but it'll always stay open. It's open for you to walk out and it's open for you to walk back. The light's in the window so you can see the light. I mean, this is a terrible thing. No matter what they do, you're just going to have to... I took the thing in hand and changed in a big picture, stuck it up on my son's door. That's it.
And what?
He never took it down. Right? That's good.
Yeah.
Every night I pray for you so you can tell us. I said, every night I pray for you. And I said, I don't care. My son was the same way. I mean,
Oh, no, he's very meticulous.
well, that's Virgo.
Yeah,
My
that's his
pastor
sign.
he was until
Change 2 or 3 times a day, yeah.
And he writes that he told me God or the government. Nobody. I'm Lord and the government. The Lord, I don't care. He got a 1-8 draft. I mean, somebody.
Yeah.
He has prepared his own sweet God himself again.
That's usually everybody goes through phases of that.
Yeah, but this is Uranus. But
Oh.
my son had a more...
How long will that be in?
Oh, my dad wants the planets.
Oh.
When the planets move on, they get better.
It's Uranus in Virgo now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, December, yeah, okay, yeah, I know, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, if you want over the works of it,
Well,
that can make a person
Changeable, too.
unpredictable is a better word.
Apostrophe is,
I
you know,
looked at this thing for me. My son has it included 18 Sagittarius.
well, one thing that,
Now we see how far Uranus does get back for you.
well, I would be most interested in that. See, he has a car.
No, Uranus does get back to 21. Look at your ascendant.
Oh.
I hate to tell you.
Well, that comes in next.
Yeah, April, March and April is the 21 Virgo. But fortunately, the worst of all this is over because Uranus is pulling away from Pluto and we don't have that. And the worst of this high tension of these youngsters, all the jealousy stuff and all that, is pulling away.
Well,
I think the pattern, if you can hold on, is much better. And at 21, we see Saturn and Uranus is squaring his Uranus. And his Uranus is also at my sun. Devil, can't make up their mind. This is not a very positive sign. However, it's good. If it were a fixed sign, you would have these feeling really exposed. Because fixed signs are fixed. You never see when they pack in dynamite and everything, they don't pack in big packages. They pack in small packages. And that's the way the fixed signs are. They're dynamic in energy, but it's concentrated. And once you get some fixed signs exploding, it's blowing the china shop.
Well, the reason I
keep Virgo
very much.
very sad.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, the thing I was so concerned about, he has a car, and he wants to get another car, and he hasn't got the money for it, and so he wanted to borrow the money from me. And I said, no, and he just blew his jack, was furious about that I wouldn't loan him money. Now, would you think it's good to say no to a thing like that? You think that's
Yes, I looked, Mercury's retrograde. I
hold your ground, because they're going to explode somewhere, and if they have some stability, they've got to have somebody who's stable in their life. Yeah. But they won't like it. They'll hit you and bang you. The wall is stable. So that's it. But you have to know your ground, and you have to know that you will stand on it. And don't make it something unless you will carry it out.
And another thing, you'll lend the money, probably wouldn't get it back. That's the problem.
What he does is he's interested in new ideas, he's interested in new things, he's interested in books, he's interested in people, he breezes around and breezes things intellectually, he can always find his way. He has a chart that throws him terribly depression. He will have it. In fact, there'll be periods where he doesn't want to live in life. He goes up and down. But he can always pull himself out by some new study or new interest or some trip. He has the ability, and he can use it, because he has Jupiter there, part of the grand air sign. It's just wonderful. But he does have fun. Do you think he'll ever marry? He's going to have a problem in marriage. That's what I would imagine. Why do you say that? Well, Saturn squares Venus. Venus is 11. And he's going to be too fussy, too critical, too demanding. He has Saturn opposes the moon. He's going to try to restrict the life. And this is the problem. Now, the girl who can marry will be ever so nice, ever so wonderful. The problem is himself. And he'll be carried up so people want to see you.
What I'm listening to, and I'm watching the argument. And then I missed out on the other part. And I had to go back on Sunday to try to remember and not listen to the argument, you know? I mean, if the people are not trying to
They want to live together. Expressing himself and doing things that way. And so he should be encouraged to do that that way. Because the air planet, what else you know, oh, here, there, send it to you. Oh, he has 1, 2, 3, 4. He got 5 planets in the air. There's 2 in Earth. There's no fire. There's no fire. He left the real that we. Oh, yes, there's fire. 2 Leo. That's right. He has it all. There's Earth, air, water. So he has no alibis, huh? No, he has a bit of everything in his makeup. So he has to go back to the too much air. Too much hot air, huh? It may be that he breathes around. Too much? Yeah. How much pictures he has? He has 1, 2. He has 4, 6 cities, so he isn't a wobbler. Yeah. But not to say so. 3 is, let's see what we can, 4, 6. So he's got to be pushed around. 1, 2, 3 cardinal. And the 3 mutable. Well, he's pretty well balanced, except his big strength is 16 things But he can't be swayed. Yeah, by friends, especially. You know, publishing a strong You want a confidence psychology? I would like an optimist. Traffic? Yeah, turn around. Well, you're in a cleanup now. Probably just a little thing. It's your friend. Yeah, the other side higher. So what do you have this for? Oh, looking hard. Yeah. I tried to work like a terrible. Done. Thanks. Writing down the rest. I didn't get to study it done this time like I did. Oh, this is Say pardon? I corrected it for wartime. I started writing wartime. Born January the 3rd, 1882, 8:22 p.m. Hyde Park, New York. He died April the 12th, in case you ever watched the progressions in trance. Oh my God.
I just happen to remember I would happen to be listening to the radio and heard it. I was in the kitchen.
Have you ever been to Warm Springs, Georgia? It's twice. Have you ever been to Warm Springs, Georgia? It's on there. Warm Springs.
Yeah, one spring.
Have you been there? So you're 63 when he died.
Standard time? It's TV,
Yeah,
standard.
That's right. 18 years until it was 1900. 45 years. So he was 63.
When he died. That's down, so I wouldn't be able to count that up.
Uranus, square Uranus, his Uranus.
Is that what happened?
Tranquil.
Well, just because that happened doesn't say it happens to everybody.
No, Uranus brings sudden upheavals and changes in your life. And this kind of square is a business square in your social life. With him, he went from earth to heaven. Other people change their jobs, they retire, or they move to Florida. No, we'd have a sad world if we knew everything was going to happen like that.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we
But
ever
the
know.
63 is a cycle of change. Now, sometimes it can be 62 to 64 because, you see, this is unpredictable again. And you have to have leeway of retrogression. And when I put it up, I'll show you some things. That's what you just put it up. It's 12 degrees Gemini from the top, which gives him an occupation that he must do mentally with his hands. 2 ways and 2 occupations. Because it's Gemini. But one astrologer will pick the thing from one way and another one another way because this is interesting. Mars, the planet of drive, of energy, of vitality, is in its 10th house. At 27 Gemini. So his vitality, his drive is before the world in his work. Now the moon, if it is in an angle, you're guaranteed a public life wherever I looked at you. The moon is up in the sky, so if he had nothing else in his chart, the moon in the 10th house would bring him into the public. It also is in the sign of Cancer, which has to do with the United States government. You notice there are 2 signs because zero Cancer starts here. That means definitely he's going to have 2 types and 2 careers in his life. He has Gemini, the type of his hands, writing, talking, and then he goes into definite government work. Had he had Gemini and the moon in Gemini,